school after I won the state championship, taking a picture with two runner-ups. Oh, sorry about that. Who were both 6'5". Dear God, I bet you look like a damn like chew toy, like a squeaky toy. Girl, you are a squeaky toy. And why is that such a funny image in my head after everything you've told me as well? If I was 6'3", I would have been a D1 athlete in an SEC school. Instead, you're a squeaky toy fucking twinks on the afternoons that you're free. I'm sorry, you did not deserve to catch a random ass flaming comment. I just couldn't help myself. What now? Oh, Ghost here is a twink slayer, as he so graciously informed me yesterday. I have no other words. I rest my case. Your Honor, this man here, it's him. Repeat it, yes. Ghost called himself an evil twink slayer yesterday. And I was referring to calling you a squeaky toy in bed because you said you whimper. I have smited the evil twinks of this world, or of the world. Guys, I know for a fact I'm gonna get beaten after stream by Mel. She's gonna be like, "You can't read." Mel, I promise you, I'm trying. Twinks are cute though, I must say. Some twinks, I'll give you that. There are a few where I'm like, I don't swing that way, but I can see why. It makes sense. Twinks are easily some of the worst people I've met. What do you mean by that? Like they just weren't good? They weren't nice? Explain yourself. I have a feeling like Ghost here is just typing away. Oh, there goes my model tracking. Something about being a twink just activates some insanely evil hidden in the male genetic code. I don't think I could be a twink even if I wanted to be one. Actually, what is like the normal height of a twink? Because like 5'6". Why do you, Addie? Why do you know that so fast? Why do you why do you have that like on demand? Twinks can be any height. Interesting, interesting. That's all I have to say about that. My best friend is a twink, and I'm assuming your best friend then is 5'6". It's more about their body than their height. Well, yeah, because twinks are like, I feel like all the ones I've seen, I say that like I see a lot of them. There's like none in my hometown, but they're like scrawny almost, right? So like my ex was 6'1" twink about that script. Oh, right. Thank you for putting me back on track. Page 2. We're totally going to just jump straight back to what we were doing. I will reach chat in one moment. Here we go. She turned her head slightly, straining to see him, but he tightened his grip just enough to still her eyes. To. Alright, nope. Fuck this. We've already messed up. We're going to have to reread. That waste had me feral all the time. We reading? Yes, we are reading a script that Mel has sent me that Addie has written. So let's restart. Here we go. She turned her head slightly, straining to see him, but he tightened his grip just enough to still her. Eyes down, he ordered. And though his voice was calm, there was no mistaking the authority in it. Her gaze dropped instantly, her body betraying her obedience even before her mind caught up. He leaned in, his lips near her ear. You fight the ropes, but they're not your prison, he whispered. They're my reminder, my proof that you are mine, long before I decide to touch you. Her breath hitched, her skin burning under the truth of it. He gave her no release, only the awareness that he could, and the knowledge that she would wait as long as he wanted. He paused, letting the room settle around them like a held breath. The lamp cast a thin halo on the bed. The ropes gleamed faintly where they caught the light. He watched as if cataloging a series of small, readable responses. The flutter in her lashes, the quick intake of breath when his fingers hovered too near, the way her jaw clenched once, then relaxed. Each was an answer he could use. Tell me your word, he said quietly. Not a question this time, but an invitation. To remember she had one. The syllable felt ordinary and small, but it... Okay, hold on. I can't read. But in it lay a contract, a promise. That choice still existed even inside the game. She swallowed, then spoke it, voice low and steady. He nodded, once approving and oddly grateful, as if her agents... Ag- Guys, I promise you I'm trying to read. As if her agency made the whole thing pure. He resumed with the same patience, layering commands like a slow architecture. I can read that word, but I can't read freaking agency. What is wrong with me? A tilt here and a pause there. A soft correction when she moved too fast. When he spoke, he named the small things, the way her shoulders tensed, the sound she made when she bit the inside of her cheek, and it, naming them, and in naming them, he guided them. It wasn't cruelty, it was the careful mapping of the territory between them. Where was I? There we are. Under his restraint. And the model froze. Fuck you, model. There we go. Under his restraint, her resistance softened not because she was powerless, but because she trusted the cut. I can read, I swear. Guys, I promise you I'm not illiterate. She trusted the cartographer, that's the word. Each denial he offered was a lesson in wanting, how the mind sharpens when the body is held at the edge of permission. Sometimes he made a movement as light as a question and waited until she answered with her breath. Sometimes he tightened a knot and let silence do the rest. She found herself listening for the cadence of his voice as much as for the word that would release her. He spoke in small truths and small lies, truths about what he noticed, lies only in the sense that he withheld what she hoped for. He taught delay like a practiced teacher teaching patience, and she learned to take lessons in, to let each moment stretch and thicken. Words brain, let's read them. Let's try to understand what you're reading. When, at last, he allowed a fingertip to trace the line of her collarbone, it felt like the permission granted rather than taken. The touch skimmed, feather light, and she responded with a shudder. That was half surrender and half recognition. He watched the reaction with a steady look like relief, as though confirming that control had been exercised well and safely. Breathe with me, he murmured, guiding her through a slow rhythm until her breath matched his and the room tempo narrowed to that single measured exchange and that synchronized. On to page 3. Space. Wow. Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. In that synchronized space, the power dynamic shifted from command to conversation. He spoke, she answered, and the both of them shaped outcome together. When the ropes finally loosened, it was not sudden. He uncoiled each line with deliberate care, his eyes never leaving her face, as if he wanted to see what the release would reveal. She lay there for a moment after tasting the quiet, not emptiness, but the echo of what had been built and returned. He offered a hand, palm up. She took it. The connection was as simple and profound, a reminder that the architecture of dominance depends on a scaffold of trust. Outside the city went on, inside, they were left with the afterstate of control well applied in the unspoken agreement that some games, when played with attention, could hold them both. I low-key died as well. You missed me not being able to read, which honestly, kind of glad. You're welcome, Addie. What are we? Why are we talking about twinks? Oh, the wasted me fair all the time. We reading? Nat, you missed the first part. Tell me your word. That's not. Oh my god, I can't write. No, you write perfectly fine, darling. It actually ended very well. I don't know why, but my face is hot. Loki died. What did I miss? 'Cause it's your writing. Of course. Be proud of what you wrote. Always be proud. I, for one, suck at writing. That is why I have asked Mel to assist me. If I was good at writing, I would not be struggling. Plus, I also struggle at reading. I want to get better. As you guys saw, I cannot read. I am borderline illiterate. I think my horses could read better than me. You tend to struggle with Mel. Mel, Mel, Mel. Listen, you know that's not true. You, why am I winking? I, uh, I have others of different genres, but they are half finished. Creative writing is so hard to me. I can only write professional things. Yes, I feel that. Maybe I should write a script? If you guys ever want to write a script, I can teach you to read. Yes, please do. If you guys want to write a script, feel free. And Addie, don't feel like you have to write me anything. I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough to share that work of art with me. It made me blush. Submit it through me, and I'll send it to him. Exactly. But no, that was well written. I appreciated it. It gave me something to do. Otherwise, hurt. Model, wake up. And there we go. Why is it so cold? Chat, the room I'm in, it is freezing. But we can hold out for another 20-ish minutes before I end stream.